The sound's coming from here. I love it. I feel like professional. Like, I'm proud of us. So what's happening today? We're getting our dishwasher installed. It only took about a month. You know, they gave us the okie doke and said that they'd be able to deliver it within a week and a half. Anyway, we're headed to the space to go meet them to install. We're having another site visit from this event producer that we really want to be connected with. She came a few months ago while we were dusty. Now that we're not dusty, she's coming back, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. We had a nonprofit book the space yesterday for October 1st, which is my husband's birthday. But it's all a good cause, so really excited about that. There's also some potential connections, long-lasting connections that could be made there, so we're really excited about that. Yeah, it's just a day with me. We're also going to IKEA today, so I have to return some things and pick up some things. So that part. We're going to change out the coffee tables. Just because, like, we would like some uniformity. The coffee tables that we wanted, they sold out, and we only had 3 out of 4. So we were able to return one. I'm gonna try to sell the 2 and then purchase new ones. Yeah, really excited about the things. We're making progress. This is
It ain't no more, right?
all right, so we are on the way to the event space this morning. It is 7:30. Little tidbit is that we still don't have our use and occupancy permit, which might sound a little odd to y'all because we've had 2 events in the space. But what we had to do is file for temporary permits in order to have the events. I can file for temporary permits up to 45 days prior to an event, and I just have to pay like $45 per event to have the event. The fire marshal's office comes through and assesses the place and then says you're good to go, and then gives you a piece of paper that says you can have an event. So I know the lighting's kind of weird, the sun's kind of weird. So there are a couple of things that are holding us up. One is approved plans for our sprinkler modifications, and then 2, a electrical inspection. And so I am headed to the space so that I can wait for the inspector. But I'm meeting with the University of Maryland today and showing them the space, and then just talking about the business. And so yeah, excited about that. We also have somebody who's interested in the space for a number of events, actually. And so it'll be great to chat with them to kind of like narrow that down. We are also applying for the Minority Business Enterprise certification. I think that's what it's called. So there's just a lot going on. But yeah, I haven't put this dress on in such a long time, and I'm so glad that it actually fits. But y'all, life is hard. You know, it's hard out here for a venue pimp. Oh, can we talk about how I've been having a lot of conversations with a number of vendors, right? I'm trying to build a preferred vendors list, and I'm trying to limit it to like catering and bartending and maybe some AV. That's it. So I was talking to a potential partner, and we were talking about the details of the arrangement. And I had a question about it, and I was like, you know what? They said, we'll ask people in our industry, and I was like, I'll ask people in my industry, because I'm in a number of like professional association for wedding event venue owners, and then I'm on some Facebook groups. Now the Facebook groups, that's the quickest way to get a response, and you'll get a whole bunch of feedback from different people with different experiences, different type of venues as well, and folks from all over the country. So I decided, rather than going to the association I'm in, I was going to go post the question in the Facebook group with the myriad of people across the country. Dare I say, there's also people in different countries. And the way they read me for filth for my question, and I was like, woo! I literally responded to one of them. I was like, whoa! Maybe, did I say this wrong? They're like, no, you said it wrong. It's just, they were just offended at the situation. Like, why would you ever entertain those types of terms? And there were 2 people who came to my rescue. They swooped in like the Avengers and basically said, for the most part, the people who answered the question, like off the bat, were people who were in different markets, smaller markets than, let's say, we're in Baltimore. Not to say that Baltimore is this huge market, but Baltimore as a city is bigger than these people who are in rural parts of the country who have these event spaces that are, no offense, like, oh, I converted my family home into an event space, or I have this barn, that I converted to an event space. Like, I love those places actually, but I'm in a city, downtown. And so the person said, for folks that are in cities, in high populated areas, especially where there are a lot of hotels and convention centers and things of that nature, the terms that she is asking about are that's normal. That's a normal, way of doing business. And also said that, actually, this is how small businesses scale. This is how small businesses survive in those environments. They need these types of terms. And then another person came in and added her 2 cents and was just like, yeah, and this is how it benefited me and my business. And I so appreciated them because I was feeling a little crazy. So I felt confident following up with the potential partner and saying, okay, here's what I'm hearing. And this is what I'm thinking we should do. And they were just like, sounds good to me. It was just the question that I had was just so normal here. You know, it comes up in every conversation. So the fact that I was on this page and people were like reading me for filth for my question, you know, I'm glad I kind of stuck through that. But anyway, I haven't even spoken to the camera in a long time. We had our soft opening the first full week of August. We had 2 events that took place. 2 drastically different events. They were both nonprofit events, but they were totally different. Like the first night was like, you know, a launch of a small nonprofit. There were about 80 people there. They had icebreakers, they had worksheets, they wrote letters to their ancestors and pinned it on a board. They did all these things and it was pretty cool. They had a buffet, so they had the caterer drop the food off. They had a live band, a VIP lounge for their board members. You know, it was good. It was good. It was very inspiring. Not to say that the next event was not inspiring. The next event was inspiring as well. But the next event had 1 million people. There were 1 million people in my space. There wasn't 1 million, but it was a lot of people. The AC held up, which I was proud about because the AC was acting funny earlier that week. And so we had to call in a favor to get somebody to come in really quick to do the work. So that worked out. But that second event, there were so many people in the space, and they said it was only like maybe 150, but it felt like more. It was beautiful, by the way. It was beautiful. They raised over $1 million that Friday evening, that event. They're such a great organization. I want to work with them again. You know, like the people were lovely, the planner was good, the team was energizing. It's just, you know, one of the vendors, I think it was just a lot of like banging of things on the floor. And so I have to figure out like how to protect the space. I have to figure that out. But anyway, yeah, those are things that are happening. Oh, do you see my pen? Woo, child. This pen is, I love it. When I worked in corporate, the first company that I worked with, I worked for that company for 14 years. And they had a jeweled logo pin. And I didn't get a pin until I was like 10 years in. I got the pin. One of the admins was just like, happy anniversary, and they gave me a pin. Now, you could get a pin by going to the women's conference. There's like this exclusive corporate women's conference, and they gave out the pin there, and I never went. And then by the time I was 10 years and I had a pin, they invited me to the conference, and then I got another pin, so I got 2. But anyway, I wanted to start off the bat with a pin for collective spaces. I think it turned out beautifully. I think it's a perfect addition to my outfit for today, especially with today's purposes. I think the meetings went well today. We're on the right path. I have some things to think about in terms of what does partnership with the University of Maryland, Baltimore looks like. And so, all good. Also had a mentoring conversation today with someone who's interested in building a space or creating space. I think that went well as well. It's more of what I want to do. So just being able to impart wisdom and share my learnings with others is part of the process. So Bye.